Hey everyone, Gerry from the DeFi Alpha Gaming Guild with another video for you today. Today's video is on Osmosis, the Interchain automated market maker or decentralized exchange. Let's get into it. So Osmosis, it's in the Cosmos ecosystem and it's getting a lot of traction. So I wanted to talk about it, to try and get it on people's radars, to help you guys understand its unique selling points and how it differs from everything else that's out there on the market at the moment. So most decentralized exchanges get compared with Uniswap, which is the main player on Ethereum. Now, one thing that's interesting about Uniswap is you can buy Uniswap on all of these places before actually buying it on Uniswap itself. So there's more volume on centralized exchanges than the decentralized exchange itself, which is kind of interesting because Osmo has a different take on it. Basically, the only place you can buy Osmo is on Osmo. So that it sort of drives people to the platform. If you actually want to own Osmo, you need to use it. So that, I think, is a great idea. It's a good thing to do to try and generate some actual users and usage, and it seems to be working rather well. If we have a look at Osmosis itself, this is what it looks like. So pretty similar to a lot of other decentralized exchanges. You've got your pools of assets that you can trade in and out of and in between. But the big difference with Osmosis is it's part of the IBC network, the inter-blockchain connectivity protocol. So if we have a look at the IBC, this is a really technical document. I'll link it in the description. But basically, this provides a protocol that overlays on top of other blockchains so they can talk to each other and send tokens back and forth. So it actually makes sense between them. It's like an open standard that can be built into protocols. And it's not just for Cosmos. Other things are building this in as well, like I think Cello and a few others. So that's what makes Osmosis very interesting. It's kind of the decentralized exchange for all of these chains. So if you see all these assets that are on here, these are all different chains themselves. So a lot of people would be familiar with Crypto.com, Terra Luna, Secret Network. They're all actual individual proof of stake blockchains, but they're connected via the IBC. So you can make transfers in and out between them all. So that's a unique selling point of Osmosis. We can have a look at the volumes it's generating. It's now got over $1 billion of liquidity, which is quite high. It's broken into the top 10 blockchains. So it itself is a proof of stake blockchain with this DEX running on top of it. And you can see it's pulling in some big volumes. It's starting to get real traction and real users, which is very exciting. So the other thing that's unique about it, it's not only its own proof of stake blockchain, but the guys who make the Kepler Wallet, which is the main wallet for the whole Cosmos ecosystem, actually are the team behind Osmosis as well. So these guys basically own the entire stack from the ground up. They own the blockchain, Osmo chain. They run the DEX that runs on it, that connects to all the other blockchains via IBC. And they also run the wallets that helps it join together. So here's a screenshot of my wallet. And as you can see, once you're connected, you can drop down and jump in between all these networks with a click of a button. And it's so simple to use. It's really quite effective, and I'm very impressed with it as a user. Within that, as you may have noticed here, you've got stake. Again, these are all proof of stake networks. So if you clicked on stake, you'd get an interface that looks something like this, part of the wallet still. And you can come and easily stake your proof of stake Cosmos tokens to their chain and start generating some really good yield. As you can see here, there's a whole bunch that you can swap between. So that's a unique selling point, not just for Cosmos ecosystem itself, but also for Osmosis. So back to Uniswap, we can see here it's got a fully diluted valuation of 11 billion. Osmosis is about 8 billion, so it's not far behind its fully diluted valuation. But the actual market cap currently is a lot smaller. So it's less than half the size of Uniswap. I would not be at all surprised if Osmo flips Uniswap this year. That's a bold statement, but that's where I'm putting my chips. The one thing that I guess you could say counts against Osmo is that because it's not fully diluted, there's going to be a lot of dilution to come, a lot more supply to come on. but most of that is in Osmo incentives to help bootstrap itself and get people to start using the protocol. So there was no VC investment. This has totally been spun up with their own funds, so that they don't have to pander to any VCs. There's no heavy schedules for people to dump on you, and most of the dilution is coming through users using the token. So the other good thing about it being a proof of stake network is you get some really good yield, as you can see here, just by staking your Osmo, on top of all the LP incentives built in to the actual platform. So if we click into the pools, I'm not sure if this is going to show the yield you can get. Here we go. So, as an LP between Atom and Osmo, if you lock it up for 14 days, you're getting a 90% yield over a year. It's almost doubling your bag. And that's if these two tokens just stay in place in value. Now, the other thing is, every day you log in and you've got more Osmo in your wallet, because this pays out every day. So you can quite easily collect it and then just stake it for another 90% yield. So this is a money printing machine, really. And in this low interest rate environment where it's hard to get yield, this is super, super attractive. So that's why I'm bringing this up. Basically, I think this is a really good opportunity. Now, the other thing that's really fascinating with Osmo, let's go back to our assets here, is they've got this new thing coming out called Interfluid staking, where maybe it might be easy to look at the pools actually. So if we go to the pools, with Interfluid staking, basically they're going to honor your LP position as a proof of stake asset. So for instance, you could come and stake, LP, provide liquidity to Osmo and Atom in this pool. And then you can also use your LP token, which it gives you in return, and stake it at the same time. So you're going to get 86% yield currently from staking, for staking this half of the LP position. And then you're also going to get whatever rewards that you lock it up for. So these are bonding periods. That's partly why they have these bonding periods for this interfluid staking, or superfluid staking, I should say. That's what they call it. Interfluid staking is where you take it to the next level. So using the same example, basically, we go back to here, might pick a different protocol. So let's go with maybe, where's Luna? Because a lot of people are familiar with Luna, and now with Luna you can easily connect across to Osmo. So we find a Luna pool here somewhere. Let's go with Secret Network. That's a good example. So basically we could stake between Secret and Atom, so not even using Osmo, but they have this thing called interfluid staking, which is basically Osmosis itself providing superfluid staking as a service to the Secret Network and to Cosmos, to Atom. So the way this would work is your LP position here would count, if you wanted it to, as a proof of stake asset on Secret Network and a proof of stake asset on Atom. So, that's actually probably a really good example, because you're going to be getting 50% yield here as an LP, plus whatever Secret pays out as a proof of stake reward, and then same with Atom. So you're getting, 3 sources of yield from the one lot of assets from that one LP position. So this could be a real boon for Cosmos in general, but also for Osmosis. It's going to have an awful lot of volume flow into this from all of these other chains, because it's become the main liquidity hub for the entire IBC network. So the other thing that's worth noting is new protocols are targeting Osmosis users and stakers, both proof of stake stakers and LP providers, liquidity providers, often as a way to distribute their initial token when they airdrop. So for instance, Chihuahua here, which is a meme coin chain, Stargaze, that's an NFT protocol. There's several others that have done this, but these are just 2 recent examples. They airdropped a lot of their token to Cosmos Atom stakers and also to Osmosis stakers and LP providers. So what's really neat about this is most people, when they get an airdrop, the first thing they think of is, how much is it worth? I'm going to sell this. But when you're getting 100% yields and more on the token just by staking it, some people are now like, actually, this was free money. I don't really need it right now. I'm just going to park this and stake it and get, X% per year. Now, once the interfluid staking spins up, you'll be able to start LPing, providing liquidity into the pools, and staking it on proof of stake networks to get extra yields. So there's more of an incentive to hold your token. It's more of an alignment of incentives than just mercenary farming and dumping. So really interesting stuff. I think Osmosis is going to have a massive breakout year. Like I said, it's already in the top 10 chains for total value locked, which is quite incredible. It's only been around since I think June last year. So it's already breached $1 billion locked up. So this is probably going to explode, and this would be one of my hot tips for the year that I definitely think is something to consider. Even if it's just parking some, maybe some Atom and Osmo in one of the LPs, and just compounding your yield, your Osmo yield, back into proof of staking. That's not a bad return on your money. It is generating a really high yield at the moment. So something to keep in mind. I've got a few more links here that I'm not going to go into today, but I will link them in the description and the show notes, because they're well worth reviewing if you want to dive deeper into it. And this is where I got a lot of this initial information from. So I'll put those in the descriptions. I hope this has been useful, and thanks very much for watching.